Hi, it's Amy, and in today's video, I'm going to talk you through 6 trusted tools that you can start using today to regulate your nervous system. Before we even start, why does this matter? Why should you watch this video? Let me tell you that in my life, I lead with my nervous system now because I've learned the hard way. It matters enormously. And it matters because if your nervous system is overwhelmed and you are operating in a state of fight or flight, it literally is affecting every single part of your life that you care about and that is important to you. And by that, I mean it's affecting your health. It is, I promise you, affecting your health. It's affecting your relationships. That can be in love, in career, in friendships. And it's affecting your ability to be present, to be happy, and to enjoy a good quality of life. It's affecting your decision making capabilities. There is literally nothing of importance that an overstimulated nervous system is not having a negative effect on. So I'm here to tell you that if you are in fight or flight, if you are stuck there, if you feel frozen there, and actually my previous video talks you through how to determine if that is the case for you. So I will link it up here and down in the description box below. But first of all, don't panic. If this is you, it was me too. And I'm talking to you from the other side. I literally know the path and I'm passionate about sharing it with you because it's literally like you've just been knocked off course a little bit. And think about an aeroplane when it, say that a flight is trying to take off from LAX and land in New York. Well, if the pilot just gets the degrees 1 or 2 off, it's going to end up in Canada or somewhere completely that it didn't intend to. So you might just be off track a little bit, and I want to bring you back into alignment, and I literally know how to do it. Stick with me until the end because of these 6 tools, you might want to try them all, or there may be some that just shout to you and just talk to you more than others do. So let me give you all of the options and then you can curate your own toolkit. Let's get into this. Tool number 1, subliminals. Now, I'm purposefully starting with the easiest, most low effort but high result, laziest tool of the 6. This is the tool for when you don't want to leave the house, you want to do something to set yourself on the right track, but perhaps you're not feeling too much motivation to actually go ahead and do it. So you need something that couldn't be any easier. Subliminals. My God, do I credit subliminals for so much change in my life. An absolute gift. And I want to pass on one in particular that I have used time and time again. There was a time that I played this entire thing 1 hour through every single day for at least 30 days. I think I did it for 60 days. And I still go back to this regularly. If ever I just feel, these days it's good, like butterfly nerves. I've got lots of exciting things going on in my life. And if I ever just feel that little bit of normal anxiety, then I love to turn this subliminal on. I will link it up here and I will put it down in the description box below. But let me explain to you first of all how subliminals actually work. When you play a subliminal, what you will actually be able to hear with your conscious brain is something like raindrops or sounds of the ocean, something calming, something soothing. That's all you should actually hear. But what's actually happening is there's another layer of recording and somebody is saying affirmations underneath the sound of raindrops, for example. Now, you can't actually hear those affirmations. You can if you turn the volume right up. So if you want to just test what sort of thing is being said, you can absolutely do that. Just turn the volume up and have a listen. But for actually using this as a tool, you want to have it so that you can't hear the person speaking underneath the sound of the ocean or raindrops or whatever it is. The reason for this is that the conscious mind is busy listening to raindrops. The subconscious mind is the one that's listening to the affirmations, and that's exactly how we want it. A subliminal is great to multitask with. You can do the washing up, you can walk the dog, you can do whatever you like with subliminals. You can work with subliminals on. I love to go to sleep with them because when you're asleep, your brain is in an even more receptive state. So, especially if you're someone who likes to listen to something to go off to sleep, make it a subliminal. You're literally rewiring your brain for a better life. So, easy, quick. Thank me later for that one. So, tool number one was something that was going to work more on the mind. Now we're going to move on to working on the physical body with tool number two. Really simple, really easy, a walk. If you are lucky enough to live somewhere where you have nature on the doorstep or nature nearby, that's absolutely perfect. But, even if you live in a busy city, it doesn't really matter. It's the act of getting outside, breathing fresh air, and moving your body. We are a channel of energy. There's energy flowing through our body all the time. And when we just stay still, which we often do if we're feeling overwhelmed or anxious or stressed, then nothing is moving, nothing is flowing, and it starts to create a backlog of problems. So you want to get your body moving and get that energy moving. When you move your body, the mind naturally starts to quiet. If you can possibly get yourself into nature, it doesn't matter. It can be the sea, a lake, some trees, the countryside, some mountains, a forest, any of it. Try and get yourself to nature. Nature is so grounding. Feet on the ground, move that body, breathe in that fresh air, walk and get out of your head. I bet if you think back to walks you've had over the years, I bet you can think of walks you've had where you have felt amazing, or where you had that incredible business idea, or you finally solved that big problem on a walk. Number three, yoga. So number three ties in with number two. Really, it's just a different tool depending on what your preference might be. Walking means you've got to leave the house. Yoga, you absolutely don't need to leave the house. There is a nervous system regulate yoga session that takes 15 minutes. Again, I did that every day for a long time, months and months and months, because it was just 15 minutes. That's all it was asking me for. I'll link it up here and I'll link it down in the description box below. But again, the concept is the same. We're moving stuck energy. We're trying to bring ourselves from being just up here in the brain to actually landing back down in the body as well. Where are you living? Is it just up here, or do you actually live in your body? Now, there's a lot linked in here. With walking and yoga, you're also moving the lymphatic system. And this is all linked in with stress and burnout and exhaustion as well, is that the lymphatic system can get clogged with waste and toxins and things that you just need to flush out a bit. So yoga and walking will really help with that too. Number four, breath work. Now, I've actually had a lot of breathwork training from a lot of different people in a lot of different settings, and I've seen it done in many different ways. There is a lot to be said for all of the different breathwork techniques. But effectively, if you're new to breathwork, let's just start out with this principle. We connect to the brain and the body through the breath. We come back to our body through the breath. We calm our nervous system through the breath. I'm just going to keep it really simple with you today. Really nice, quick and easy tool. It's going to be inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, but you want to inhale as deeply as you possibly can and exhale for as long as you possibly can. Make it audible. Listen to it, because we're trying to bring you out of your brain, out of your worrying thoughts, out of your anxiety. Listen to your breath as a distraction from listening to your thoughts. It's a really nice trick. So as I said, there are loads of different tricks. There are loads of different breathwork experiences. I did an amazing one at a retreat in Austria recently, which was an active breathwork session. Never experienced anything like that in my life before, but literally felt a physical difference in the left and right side of my body when we worked each side at a time. So that was fascinating. Another one that I really like is when you take a little extra sip. So breathe in as much as you can through your nose. And when you've got to maximum capacity, stop and take an extra sip and then let it out. What a gift to pass to children when they are an adult and they're without us there to help them with these sorts of things. We want them to instinctively turn to some of these tools because they remember. And I tell you what, if you teach it to them at a young age, they will remember because it will become their autopilot. Number 5 is a bath. And again, this one might sound really simple, but it's so, so effective. So it's a combination of the warmth of the water and the submersion into water and the effect that those two things together have on the body immediately. The pressure of the water activates a parasympathetic response and literally takes you out of fight or flight into rest and digest. A bath activates an immediate safety signal to your body. Think about it. In the shower, you're still moving, you're still doing. In a bath, you literally have to stop. You are held by the pressure and the warmth of the water, and it works wonders for your nervous system. Try and stay in there a while. I like hour-long baths, minimum. But it's a ritual for me and I take it seriously because the quality of my nervous system is the quality of my life. Tool number 6 is a therapy technique called EFT tapping. EFT tapping is a tool that I've used an awful lot myself as well, and it fascinates me, this one. The real-time results are absolutely fascinating. A couple of really interesting statistics to back this one up first. There was a study done on EFT tapping using US veterans who were suffering from PTSD. The group was split into two. Half the group went ahead with EFT tapping and half were in a controlled focus group that didn't go ahead with EFT tapping. After only 6 sessions, the group that had been EFT tapping, 90% of them already no longer met the clinical criteria for PTSD. And that held up with 80% of them still not meeting any of that clinical criteria 6 months later. And that was in comparison to only 4% in the non-EFT tapping group. There was also another study by Dr. Dawson Church, which found that after just 1 hour of EFT tapping, there was on average a 24% reduction of cortisol, and actually in some patients as much as 50%. That was just after 1 hour. I'm going to guide you through a round of EFT tapping. Now, something amazing to know about EFT tapping is that once you learn this, and it's really quick to learn, you absolutely can just do this on yourself whenever you like, whenever you need to. I have heard people say stories of having important meetings and they've just nipped to the bathroom for a couple of minutes before and done a quick EFT tapping session just before they go into their big important presentation or meeting. This is something that can really accompany you. All you need is yourself. But before we get to tapping, just something that I want to point out, EFT tapping can bring up real emotion, especially if you're tapping on something specific. Please know that you can absolutely go to a qualified EFT tapping practitioner or therapist who can guide you through this. But today we're keeping it very light and general. This is just a calming, everyday nervous system regulation tapping round, not any kind of deep work. Start with a couple of deep breaths, and we're going to start with a setup statement. And we tap here, just a light touch on the karate chop part of our hand. And this is when we say the setup statement 3 times. So, even though I feel all this anxiety and overwhelm right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel all of this anxiety and overwhelm right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I feel all of this anxiety and overwhelm right now, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. So, all of this anxiety, this overwhelm, my mind will not stop racing. It all feels like too much. This tightness in my chest. I don't have to fix it all right now. I can just breathe. I am doing the best I can. That's end of round one. I choose to let some of this go. I am safe in this moment. My body can settle. One thing at a time. This feeling will pass. I trust myself to handle what's ahead. I am already calmer than I was a few moments ago. So a really good little tip as well with EFT tapping is give the feeling a score out of 10 before you start round one, and then score it after the first round. Score it after the second round. And if you use any AI tools, if you use Claude, for example, it's great to work with Claude. If you don't feel that you need a qualified therapist to work through it with you, and you do feel that you can do this on your own, then definitely lean on an AI tool. Tell them what you're working with and ask them to go to produce a script for you round by round. Work with your AI tool if you choose to do it this way. It's just one option with grading the numbers and see what you can bring that number down to. The last thing I'm going to say here is possibly the most important one. Consistency is key with any of these tools. It's no good trying them once and then not doing them ever again. Consistency really is key. It takes 66 days to form a habit. Now, I'm not saying you must pick one tool and do it for 66 days or you'll fail at this. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is, if you are serious about getting out of fight or flight and reclaiming your life, you need to be working on nervous system regulation daily. Do you have to listen to a subliminal every day, have a walk every day? No. I've given you a toolkit here of those 6 tools, which speak most to you. Just start. I would start one of 2 ways. Either pick one tool and commit to doing it for 66 days if you can. 30 days, if that feels more a bit less overwhelming, go for 30 days. You'll see a massive impact. Start with subliminals, the easiest one. Do it for 30 days. After 30 days, come back to this video, reassess, and go from there. Add in another tool. Decide what you need to do. Layer the tools. Fantastic book that would really support you in building this daily routine, which is Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'll put the details in the description box below. Incredible, life-changing book about how to build habits into your daily routine. And yeah, absolutely worth a read. That's one way I would go about it. The other way I would go about it is I would commit to using a tool a day. That means every day, you know, you need to use a tool to regulate your nervous system, and then you decide intuitively, I fancy a walk, I fancy a bath, I am not leaving the house today, it's going to be yoga, I feel like I've got 5% energy at best, I'm just going to turn on a subliminal. That's how you do it, but consistency is key. I'm asking you to have the faith of a mustard seed. I'm asking you to put your trust in this, put your trust in me, have the faith of a mustard seed, because this completely changed my life. Completely changed my life. And I know it will work for you. I know it will work for you if you commit. So if you enjoyed this video, please take a moment to like and subscribe, and please comment below. I really read all the comments. I will always reply to you, and genuinely, I really want to hear your stories. What resonated with you? What do you want to hear more of from me? Is there anything you'd like me to talk more about? You know, I'm a relatively new channel. I'm building a community here. It's wonderful to have you. I really appreciate each and every viewer. I'm here to work with you, so please do talk to me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.